Hello, welcome. It's Stitch Along Friday again.
It is.
With the two of us.
With the two of us. That's right.
We're so happy to be together again.
Yeah. It's been a while.
That's for sure. Well, we're just going to check and see what the dashboard says here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to be able to figure things out pretty well.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
Good.
hope the sound is on.
Well, that's right. Let's hope the sound is on. We've got a couple of people viewing already. So.
Good. Well, they'll tell us, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And
hopefully you can hear us.
Yeah. The thing about the sound is I did a little test this morning about an hour ago or half an hour ago. And Wanda's here and she'll let us know if she can hear us.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And I think that they will.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you came for a visit.
I did come for a visit today. Yes. Yeah.
What we were talking about yesterday is the fact that Lisa is no longer working here. And so we just wanted to have you all realize that when she comes, she's just a visitor.
I'm visiting Thea for a little bit because I haven't seen you for about a week.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because she's just like, we're so used to being with each other.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Let's face it, we spend more time with each other over the last 26 years.
That's right.
Than with just about any other one person.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Even more than my husband.
I know.
Awake hours. You know.
Awake hours.
Awake hours.
I don't come to your house to sleep. You don't come to mine to sleep.
That's right, exactly. But, if you count the actual being awake and verbally talking to somebody and all that kind of stuff, I spend more time with you than my husband. A lot of times, with my husband, he's on the couch and I just see the back of his head. So,
So anyway, so it's been really a treat to get together. And actually, we just sat around and chatted quite a bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And the reason we had to chat, of course, was because in the future, not quite yet, but in the future, there will be some wonderful things that we're going to do for you and with you.
Yeah.
So in order to be able to move forward, we both have to kind of regroup.
Absolutely. Find my new routine. I guess is what you're going to say. This week has been a little odd.
Well, the thing is that, you had a routine for 26 years. To change it now, it's just like it's very unsettling.
Yeah, it is. That's right. And to start off the new year on January 2nd, I rushed up to my hometown, which is 2.5-hour drive away, to look at a house. It was rather disappointing, actually.
Wasn't quite the right house yet.
Wasn't the right house. And then 2.5 hours back. So 5 hours drive to take 20 minutes to look at a house.
I think that's because you missed me and you had to go and do something.
I had to, okay, I'm not working and time to move forward and anyways.
Well, and so the two of us, of course, will not stop being friends. And hopefully you'll drop by quite often.
Yes.
It would be really nice to just see you and chit-chat with you. And we'll certainly hope that you'll drop into Facebook. I'm sorry, Stitch Along Friday.
Stitch Along Friday. I will certainly try that. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll just find out what Lisa's going to be doing.
Yeah, what I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to figure out, finishing wise and making videos on my own, and I haven't quite gotten there yet, but
it will happen. And the wonderful thing is that phones, you can have them braced and sit on an arm and then hold it over your work, and you could just turn it on and then you can do your stuff and turn it off.
I need the arm.
You just need the arm.
I need the arm,
exactly. And it's fun, when you start to figure out how to take videos.
Yeah.
You already know how to do editing on your own, so it should be really fun to find out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But as far as me is concerned, I do want to do some things. I'm not sure exactly what, but I have started a new design. And the reason I have is because I promised to teach in Sturbridge this coming October.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to teach there on the 23rd and 24th of October of 2023.
Yeah.
So those of you who are part of this group and you happen to be in the area, contact Jen. I think if you already have their phone number or their email, just contact her and tell her you're interested. I think that it's going to be really fun to see everyone that I used to see in Sturbridge, I hope. Yeah. So I'm doing a little design that's kind of Halloween-y and well, it is Halloween-y.
It is Halloween
theme.
Exactly. Do you want to kind of show what you're going?
No.
Not design-wise, but the finished product might be?
No, okay, but okay.
Okay.
All right.
Because then they might get excited. And so, we've got this lovely drum pincushion that's
Yes.
absolutely beautiful and fun to do, but it's going to be a Halloween style.
Yes, it'll be Halloween themed.
Yeah.
And so I hope that it'll turn into a fabulous pattern, and that those of you who are close by or not travel there, because I'm not going to be teaching all that often in person. But in this case, it's Stitcher's Hideaway. What can I say? I have to say yes.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to not just teaching, but being with all the people that can come to that Stitcher's Hideaway retreat. And again, it'll be October 23rd.
And 24th.
And 24th.
Yeah.
I think it's a Monday and Tuesday, so it's a little odd timing. But that means that I think that you'll be able to afford it, because they don't have to do it on the weekend, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hotel rates would be higher on the weekend than during midweek, especially Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, I think so. So we're going to say hello to everyone now that everyone's come in. And I did keep my eye on the comments saying, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So Loretta.
Hi, Loretta. Good to see you.
Brenda.
Good. Sylvie. Nancy.
Okay, you're going to say them out loud? That'll be fine.
Well, we can both say them out loud.
At the same time? I don't know. Echo Bell Schiffer?
Yeah, it's like a little echoey, isn't it?
And we have Renee Cleveland, Marie Anik. Hello, Sylvie. Did Lisa retire?
No.
No, but she has stopped working for the time being. She has stopped working, and we're going to regroup. So there's no retirement in our future yet.
No.
So don't worry. Everything is being worked out.
Exactly. I'm currently not working.
Correct. Marty says, hello from Lake Placid. Linda Bazarski, hello. Yes, we're really happy to be together again. I have to say it. Maybe more than you, Lisa, because I was in Mexico, and it was lovely in Mexico, but I missed my routine.
your home, your stuff.
Yeah, stuff. I don't know how I can be so attached to my stuff.
Well, it's just comfort. I think that's what it is. Because it's your stuff, it's familiar, and it's comfortable.
Yes, and also where I was in Richard's condo, and I'll say it's Richard's because he's had it all laid out the way he likes. And the way he likes, I hate to say this, but it is so messy.
Oh.
And it's, well, I don't hate to say it, it's true. And he agrees. It's just that from his point of view, he can't quite remember where things are. So what he does is he leaves everything out. So for him, it's an organizational thing.
Organized chaos.
Yes, so I think he's ADHD or whatever. So if it's in a drawer, it's lost to him. He doesn't see it, doesn't think about it, doesn't know where it is. So living like that is just not my cup of tea. And I put everything in things.
Exactly. I don't put it in drawers. I have a stack on my table by my stitching chair of things that I need to do, but the stack keeps on growing. So I'm going to have to go through and go, okay, what don't I need to do anymore?
I make lists and I do all those, and he doesn't do any of that. He just, he knows where he's at, and then, anyway, so it's a mental, emotional thing.
Absolutely.
So I had to live with that, and usually when he's living with me, there's a room that he does that in.
Yeah, that you can close the door and not, it's got shades. You don't have to look at it.
I hate to say it, but and it mixes up my mind terrifically. Anyway, hello, Tedra. Kathy Bird, hello. Carol Lemon, you are chipper looking. Actually, I had 9 hours sleep last night for the first time since I got back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it's just wonderful to sleep.
Yeah.
Donna Granger, Soggy Berkeley.
Oh.
Dorothy, so nice to see you. Thank you. Nice to have things in order again. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the Stitchers do like our organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we all like containers. We like stationery stores. We like, of course, stitching stores.
Yeah.
And we like everything in order and organized.
Absolutely. And not necessarily that I can find things when they are organized.
That's right. That's right. Tammy Thompson is here. Happy New Year. Diane Redistorff. Winter Wonderland.
Oh, in Minnesota.
I thought maybe it might be like a fairground or something.
Nope.
And Tricia, hello. See you. It's nice to see you again too. Loretta says, yeah, because I think you might be going to the Stitcher's Hideaway retreat, right?
Could possibly be.
I hope so, Loretta. That'll be wonderful to see you. Jean Morrison is here. Carla Dirks
Yeah.
McCall is here. Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Everybody's loving it that we're together. Where is Sturbridge? It's in Massachusetts, I think, but it's in northern Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not too far down. It's not in the coast. So have a look where it is. It's also got attached to it. There's an old town there called Old Sturbridge Village.
Old Sturbridge Village, yes. It's colonial.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that part's colonial. It's going to be held at the Public House. And the reason I say public is because it's a CK at the end. Which is kind of an old-fashioned spelling for that. Rachel, hey, how are you? Lynn, wonderful. Nice to see you and Happy New Year. Karen is here. Nice. Mariakan Felland. I'm in sunny Florida, too. You have to say how you pronounce your name. Sylvie, nice to see you, too. I like your little avatar. Anita Verheyen, Happy New Year. Sure happy you're not in Mexico today. Yes, I heard about that. And by the way, the news reports, totally exaggerated.
Oh,
completely. Everybody did have to stay home in Mazatlan because there was some unrest and they had arrested, I don't know, some big drug lord's son or something like that.
That's what they said on the news,
But that there's fires and stuff and that people can't get out. That's all exaggerated, all lies. You know, I know because I've got the reports from this from Richard. Source. Yeah, from Richard, who's there, and he stayed with a number of other people in his condo just to be safe. You know, they didn't know what was happening, and nothing happened. Nothing all across Mazatlan. And this morning, all the buses are running. Everybody's doing their own thing again. So I was a little happy, but I was not so happy that Richard was there. But then I thought, he can take care of himself.
Well, that's right. You got home. You don't have to worry about flying anywhere.
That's right. And that's the other thing. I think that what happened was, of course, because of the one day that no planes ran and they couldn't get out, so to speak, there is going to be, again, yet another... and you know, lots of cancellations.
Absolutely.
And they had hotel problems. You can imagine. Yeah. This is height of tourist season. And of course,
absolutely.
The cartel just wanted to flex their muscles. And luckily they figured it out. I don't know what actually happened, but Richard will tell me and I'll tell you next week if you're interested. Let's see. Trust you, Tricia, to know what's going on even in Mexico. Echo Bell, snowing in New Hampshire. Happy New Year from Vicky Fisher. You did survive the Southwest mess. Yeah, because that had nothing to do with just the snowstorm. The Southwest mess was a Southwest mess all by itself. Yeah. And then all the other airlines had to figure out what to do with Southwest's clients. So they were picking up the slack. Oh, it was horrendous. And I did miss all of that. Yeah. Thank God.
You luckily were only 3 hours delayed getting home.
I know,
which is remarkable because some people were delayed for days.
Days and days over Christmas. And I was not delayed but 3 hours. Only 3 hours.
Only 3 hours.
And I had checked my luggage through because I couldn't walk as far in the airports. Turns out that I could have, which was, you know, but anyway, so the point is I had to check my luggage through and it arrived. Yeah.
That's right, exactly.
We actually had to sit there for, you know, a good 20 minutes for it all to get unloaded in Victoria, but I couldn't believe it.
That everything came at one time.
That my luggage arrived was really good. Yeah. I mean, never mind all the other people.
As long as you got yours.
As long as I got my stuff. Diane Zavidio from Colleen, Louise Fossa, good to see you, thank you. And Dorothy, did Richard come? No, he did not come home. He's there for another 3 months doing business. And Dancio Ionica says, oh, it's dark for me, 43. Hi, belated, there was my son, 40-year-old. Oh, I see.
Okay.
And then Carla Dirks McCall says, my sister in Minneapolis has 48 degrees of snow. Oh, 48 inches. Are you kidding?
Oh, wow.
That is a disaster. Yeah. Look at that.
15 inches in the last 2 days.
Carla. Wow. Whoa. Exactly. Now, do I have more here? No, I don't. Do I?
I don't think so.
No, I thought there was another message underneath. No. Okay, I got through all the messages and I just have to go back here on there we go. So we know where we're at. Thank you to all the viewers that we have.
Absolutely.
And as new people come on board, hopefully we'll remember to say hello to them. because, we're full of beans.
Yes.
At least I am.
I think I am too.
Oh dear. So, what have you done this last week because you're not working? What have you done?
Well, it started off January 2nd going to look for a house, but
that was a bit of a disappointment.
It was a disappointment, and it was a very tiring day. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Then I think you've been stitching, haven't you?
I have been stitching. Yes.
What did you start? I know you always start one in January.
I did, and I started silk bougainvillea.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's one of our older.
One of the older ones, but I've got the other gazebos done, except for Christmas gazebo. But I don't consider that one to be part of the set of four.
No, they're not as floral. The Christmas one isn't
exactly, and it's not on the same colors. So yeah, I've been wanting to start this for a few years. So I thought, oh well,
you've got all the silk ribbon.
I got all the stuff. January 1st is the time to start it. So
it's a big one, but I know you can do it.
It's a big one, and that satin stitching the gazebo is time consuming.
I know. The reason I know is because I did all of those things
I thought I'd be much further along than what I am, but I'm also trying to get into a routine, so it didn't feel, some days at the start right to stitch. So even though I had the stitching in front of me, I kind of just sat and stared at it.
Isn't that
and
funny,
not doing anything else,
because
right?
you're thinking to yourself, I should be at work. I should be working.
I should be doing something else, but I wasn't really motivated to go do something else. So, anyway.
I think that's very common. I think that when people, we'll call that retire, but when people stop working in a job they've been working at for a long time, sometimes people literally get so depressed that they, stay in bed for a year.
Exactly. And I hope, that's not coming because, I hope, anyways. I have to start walking, and I think that's the key, is doing at least half hour of walking every day would...
it really relieves those things. And especially if you're out first thing in the morning or when you consider first thing. If you're out first thing, then you can keep going.
Absolutely.
Because I think that the what I read somewhere, and I think this is true, most healthcare professionals, like mental health care professionals, say that half people's depression can be lifted considerably by exercise. And just walking is exercise. Yeah. It's not nothing.
Definitely. And, this morning as I'm sitting having my tea, and I thought, oh, look at the beautiful sunrise, because it was nice, bright colors.
You got to see it.
I should be out there walking, but,
Yeah, well, then you got the right idea, I think.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if any of you do exercise on a regular basis, but it's easy to let it go in the wintertime. But that's when you need it the most.
Absolutely.
And I also read recently something about, getting sunlight through your clouds, because we have so many clouds here all the time. We kind of figure that we do need extra vitamin D, but you get infrared, you get a lot of other things from the actual sun, even when it's cloudy.
Cloudy, absolutely.
And that lifts your spirits also. So I'm full of advice when it comes to exercise, but I haven't walked for a long time.
Well, your foot hasn't been in the condition to walk. So.
But it's, just like you, I was thinking this morning, I could go for maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
And just really gently, because I have to go so slow.
And luckily your street is level enough that you're not walking up and down a hill.
No.
So even if you just walk back and forth on the street, like down to the mailbox and back.
Yeah, I think that's a really good goal.
That's a good start for just to get down that way.
Yeah, because actually I couldn't even have the time to go up and down any hill because I literally go so slow, like a snail.
That's right. And that incline on your foot might not be good at this time anyways.
Yeah, but it's certainly improved in Mazatlan, which, if anybody's interested. So Carla says, I've been retired for 3 years now, and I don't have time to do everything. Yes, and she takes her dog for a walk every morning. So that would be another really good thing.
Absolutely.
If you could take your dog for a walk.
That's right.
Bob doesn't like waking up that early, does he?
Bob's not you think I'm not a morning person. Bob's not more of not of a morning person. So
the two of you are like awake until midnight, and then
what's really funny is no.
Oh, he's not an evening person either?
No. He gets, I think what it is, he likes to go stretch out in bed and watch, YouTube or whatever.
So he stays up.
So he stays up watching that, but he's in bed. So I'm, in the evening, usually about 9:30 or so, he toodles off. And so I watch my shows. But then
Oh,
when
it's
I
basically what kind of media you like.
exactly, yeah. So then I go to bed, but I'm up always before him.
Yes,
Yeah,
well, it's a good thing
yeah.
because somebody has to be
Well,
responsible
that's right, exactly.
in the
And I
household.
guess it's me.
I think it
Yeah.
is. So anyway, we are really chit-chatting almost with each other because there's so many things that we miss
Yeah, absolutely.
over the last
Yes.
month. I can't even tell, and it isn't
Mhm.
only about work, that's for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
There were some things that were about work, but mostly
Yeah,
Lisa had worked while I was gone, which was
absolutely.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
So this time, if you email, can you just remember that I'm the one that has to do all of those things
Yes.
now? I can't, I can't expect anyone else to come along and do anything. So communicating with me, if you just keep it down, unless it's urgent, unless it's something that you need, because
Yeah.
I won't have that much time on email. And if I
Mhm.
do email you back, it'll be very short.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
just don't have the
Yeah.
time to spend with each and every one of you anymore. And that also goes for my personal email.
Mhm.
I really do have to watch my time.
Time, your computer time, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Much as I love to spend any time
Yeah.
visiting or emailing,
Mhm.
I just have found that I'm not going to be able to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
have so many wonderful plans as far as my future is concerned. We're at the moment still working. I'm still working with the idea of working with digital. So I did want to say to
Mhm.
you that yes, the academy will stay open
Yeah.
until the end of June.
June. Yes.
And I'm pushing it forward every 3 months, mainly because I don't want to let it go yet. There will be other courses.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
hopefully, if that can start happening, then the academy will just stay open and you can have a year's worth of
Mhm.
any course you would
Yeah.
attend. So, thank you for being patient with my inability to make up my mind as to what to do. But I
Yeah.
really have to feel my way through how to get to a place where eventually we might do something together. But if we get to that place, it will be, um, how can I put it? It's not imagined yet.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
We
We're
just
we're
don't have
still
it yet.
yeah reevaluating.
And
Yeah.
it definitely means that she won't be working for me.
Mhm.
So we're going to possibly do something. But right now, we have to do things this
Yeah.
way. And I will be very happy to continue to sell my PDFs and all my designs, including Kathy's and Linda's,
Mhm.
and hopefully do all of the bookwork that goes with it. So
Yeah.
it'll all be done by me. So
Please be patient.
be patient if there's any help that you need. And let's see now. Rachel lives in Israel, walks minimum 30 minutes every
Oh,
day.
yeah.
I got a dog and medically cannot naturally absorb vitamin
Oh.
D. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, Dorothy, absolutely what I said too.
Yeah.
And it's not just doctors. They better benefits than
Mhm.
antidepressants. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Carla says 6, which is interesting. Oh, Carla says, I run, walk 6 to 8 miles, 8
Oh.
a.m. Rain, shine, snow, hot, cold.
Wow.
That's the way I used to be too
Yeah.
before I had my operation. But I'll get back there.
You will. Absolutely.
And you're going to get there because your dogs are going to be whining otherwise. I
Yeah.
want to get out.
Yeah,
I
well,
wanna
see,
get out.
my husband, since he retired over a year ago, he's done all the dog stuff. I basically stopped walking the dogs when he retired.
Oh, that's why you've
Yeah.
stopped walking.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So do you want to
'Cause
promise him?
It gave me a little bit extra time in the morning to sleep in. And so I felt that was more important than going out walking the dogs, was getting my sleep.
Well, getting sleep is also important.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I understand that. But maybe if you promise him that you're going to walk the dogs in the
Yeah.
morning, then you know he's not going to do it.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that'll. I always feel like I need to be forced into some of
Well,
those things
and-
until you get into it.
Until you get into it. The thing is, though, the dogs are also gotten into a routine where because I don't run them. My husband I've got miniature Australian Shepherds, so they need a lot of high energy exercise. So I don't run them, but I do walk them. I used to walk them every morning. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, these are all of our
Yeah.
plans. They're gradual, but
Yeah.
we're really excited. Okay, so the one thing that this is called, this little stream
Yeah.
here today, is Stitch Along Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that what we'd both like to do, I certainly would like to, is to check with you got an idea.
Mm,
I
mm-hmm.
wasn't really planning on doing another stitch along this year, to tell you the truth, because I wasn't sure what was going
Yeah.
to happen. And then I thought, I can do one that isn't quite as complicated
Mm-hmm.
as the last two
Absolutely.
years.
Yeah.
So what I can do, I thought yesterday that maybe I could make it so that every, not as frequently as every week, but that I do by the month, and that I would do one band a month, and the band would be substantial.
Absolutely.
It would be some specialty
Yeah.
stitches and maybe,
Technique or something like
yes,
that.
like
Mm-hmm.
that. So that means that I don't have to do it every week. And I mean, have to, I didn't feel like I had to, but I know that the time it takes to
Mm-hmm.
do one, and not just to design it, but also to upload and make sure that it's without errors, make
Mm-hmm.
sure you have all of the links to all of the videos that you need, that little package. I don't have the time for all of that anymore. But I was wondering, how do you guys feel about this? Just let me know if you think once a month and do a band in a sampler, and we'll end up having 12 bands,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so it'll be long enough,
Yeah.
but it'll be a year-long
Yeah.
sampler. And I might have to do a little bit more this month because I haven't done anything in it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you can catch up in the future months because not every band is going to be that dense either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa, will you do tutorials
That is still up in the air.
on finishing on YouTube? I am
Yeah.
new at this finishing stuff, and I did make a pillow sort of based on your YouTube finishing of the tulip sampler and found it so helpful. It was a small sampler that I have had for many years, and hang on, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Many years, and come on, see more. And I thought I'd try it so I can use it on my VS stuff, so I've just started to collect. Lovely.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something I'm thinking of, but at this time, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that doing videos like that will end up being later in
Yeah.
our acknowledgement, because right now she's not working. She really needs to take a break, and that is really important, so that she can continue on doing whatever she
Mm-hmm.
wants to do, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be for love of the thing.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned it earlier today already on our stream that
Yeah.
you were thinking
I
of
was. I'm
creating some.
thinking of it. It's just I haven't gotten quite there as to, where, how, when, why.
Yes. And the other thing is, don't forget, when someone stops working, it takes a while to reorient yourself
Yeah.
to this new reality that you're not getting up every morning. So that adjustment is still going to be there
Yeah.
for a while. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but she really would like to make some videos.
Yeah.
And they may be free.
Yeah.
They may not be free.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, love the idea of stitch along on a monthly basis.
Mhm.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah.
Love it. Totally love it. I like that idea. Love the idea, especially with specialty stitches. Oh, for sure. On a monthly one sounds absolutely great. A band a month is perfect. Easier to do with no pressure.
Mhm.
On both sides, it sounds
Yeah.
like. That sounds like a great idea. Oh, that's wonderful. Love that with special stitches. Thank you, Nancy and Margaret. Mary, love the idea of the monthly band sampler. Thank you, Denise, Mary, Karen. Brilliant idea. Once a month. I thought
Yeah.
you were all going to be, just
Yeah.
once a month. It's not true. Yes, that sounds wonderful for the stitch along. Well, the other thing is that I have noticed, and I may be wrong here, but it seems like since we started doing stitch along Fridays, which probably 5 years now.
Oh yeah, 4 years anyways.
I think 5.
Yeah, I think
this
5,
is our
yeah.
5th year.
It
And
could be.
we started the stitch along for free in our group.
Mm-hmm.
And there are now many designers who
Yeah.
are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So don't think I haven't noticed that some of you also belong to other stitch alongs.
Yes.
And of course it's wonderful to have free patterns, and that's why you're doing them, etc., which is great. I have no problem with it at all. But I thought, gee, you're not going to be able to keep up
Mm-hmm.
with everything that
else.
you sign up
Yeah.
for. So maybe it won't be so bad to just have one
Yeah.
band a month,
Yeah.
and that way I can do some things that actually put some money in my pocket,
Yeah.
because I have to say, doing all that work for very little was, it was lovely. I appreciated being able to do it, but at the moment I'm finding that with the the fact that all of the products that we have eliminated from our website means that I don't have as much income, and I need income right now. I really do. The downturn, the interest rates, all sorts of things. So I'm working hard to get some income back. And I can be honest about that. I have to work for a living.
Yeah.
It's important. I wish I could retire, but semi-retire is the best I can do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's the same with me. I have to, figure out some way to have an income.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So we're not alone.
Yeah.
When it comes right down to it. So I'm really glad you appreciate and will participate in the monthly stitch along. Aha, there you go. Some other designers do monthly stitch alongs. Good, good, good. Thank you, Sylvie, Diane, Dorothy.
Thanks, Dorothy. Yes.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I keep trying to say to people. I mean, we've been going for years.
For years, yeah.
And we are so happy that we have such loyal and wonderful, not just customers, but followers and friends, because we really have.
Yeah.
I can't even believe how supportive you all are, too, both of us.
Definitely.
But on the other hand, we can't keep up, maintain the same pressures in the future, we're going to have to slow down.
Yeah.
That's all. And so hopefully we'll still be able to do things for you, but also do things for ourselves, like go for a good walk.
Yes, go for a good walk, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, once your foot, that's what I'll do is we'll go for a walk.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to go for a walk.
Have to go for a walk when your foot is better.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds really good. So Margaret says, I would not mind paying a small fee for a more intricate, more learning type of band a month, resulting in substantial. Oh, Margaret, there's a thought.
Good idea.
A band a month sounds awesome. But if I do something like that, where I can do that perhaps through a class in the academy.
We did think of also doing one time talked about Zoom too, doing
a retreat. But I'm thinking this once a month thing. Don't forget what I've been doing is I haven't been giving you the colors. And many people may not want to pay for a design that I create that doesn't have suggestion of colors. And that takes probably, in order to add the colors in, that means I also have to adjudicate, is that the right color? And then they also have to be put into the pattern. So it makes making the pattern about 4 times more time.
A little time consuming, a little more time consuming.
But it's a good idea, Margaret, because you never know. People might just think it would be wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. Thank
you very much for that suggestion. Thank you. I'd rather pay a bit and have you continue than freebie and no more. Oh. Gina says, I appreciate and love the stitch along, but I understand if you choose to charge for new designs. I'm grateful you're still able to design for us. That is, gee, how nice people
very
are.
Nice.
And Rachel would pay too. Make it all white or one color. Now there's a good thought.
That's a good idea, Rachel.
Actually, having specialty stitches can be done one color on top of a more neutral, darker color.
For example,
all white.
I mean, we pulled out some models, so we're talking about white on white, and of course, this is White Christmas, and it's basically done on white.
It is. With
a little silver.
If I'd had my druthers, I probably later on, I would have done it on a darker background.
Oh, yeah.
So you could see the white. But hey, wouldn't that be great on a darker background?
Definitely. And look at all the different specialty stitches in it. So
that's actually a really good idea. Yeah. Look at you guys. You're just, you're making my year possible. That's all the suggestions I just received have opened my eyes to other possibilities. So fun possibilities too. So all one color to me sounds like the key to not spending a lot of time with color, but also educating and creating something that you will love. Oh, I just love this.
And Rachel, exactly. I would say white and a platinum color.
Yeah. Something like that. Or you could choose whatever color background you want in general. But if I'm to do any videos of the stitches, I'd probably do it on a platinum or a raw or some other linen that's got a little bit more color.
Absolutely. So you have a little more depth to it.
Yes, and people can see the stitches. See, I knew if I'd come to you all that you'd solve my problems for me. Because trying to guess what people might like is very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Margaret, though I thought as well the bands could be white and then some colors thrown in, but a smaller group of a color palette could be possible.
Yeah.
Larry says it's not Larry. I know it's not
Yeah.
Larry, and I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Larry's wife
Joe.
said, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Beadaholic wife Joe.
Thank you. Okay, Joe, thank you. Don't forget to add beads, though, please. Thank you in advance from Larry's Beadaholic. Of course.
Excuse me.
I would have to add something. Oh, I'm so excited. I could start that like right away. We could have a class in the next month.
You could.
I could indeed. Yeah. Oh, that's really exciting. Anyway, you'll find out about it here, and we'll put it on our website as soon as it's prepared.
The next stitch along could be happening sometime in the next month. And
definitely I will start the stitch along. That's a separate thing, but the stitch along that is free will start here within this month, within January. But the stitch along, the paid stitch along, I think that I can do that probably starting next month.
Yeah.
Because making the designs is a joy for me. I get lost in it, and I create it in my head, and I don't have to stitch everything anymore, which is important because that's the time-consuming part for me.
Exactly, and also your hands weren't functioning.
They weren't. I was starting to get arthritis in my thumb and sorts of things, but I can still design. That does not cause me any harm at all. So I'm thrilled with your suggestions, and I can't thank you enough. So we had maybe something like heirloom, 10 months of bands, and 2 months more intricate bottom. Look at that, Rachel. Anybody has any ideas, please send them to me at thea@victoriasampler.com. I'll read them, and I'll say I've read them, and I thank you, and that's all I'll say.
You might just get a thanks in a reply.
But if you have any other ideas, I'm very grateful. Yippee! It can be a Valentine's start. Exactly.
Yep.
Looking forward to both stitch-alongs. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. That's all I can say is thank you. So we do have some more patterns that we're going to show.
Yeah.
I think they're in order.
I think
1,
they
2,
are.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and I of course I showed out. No, it's like this.
Okay. Well, what we decided, what we do.
There.
Those are the bell pulls sounding like that.
Yeah.
What we decided we'd do when we talked about it last week was that we're going to show you all the designs in order.
Yes.
That are there because we have the models, and or I have to stop saying we because you know, well, it's still we.
Yeah.
I mean, for goodness sake, just because you're not working doesn't mean it's not we.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, we produced them over the last 25 years.
I just want to be really careful. I value you too much to assume that it's a we.
Yeah.
But what I thought that I do, starting to get the is show all the designs I created from the beginning in order so that you'll be able to see how I actually progressed as a designer. Because don't forget, when I first started, I had no training. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd had some souvenir cross stitches out for Victoria. That's it. And then I remember thinking to myself, you know, I could do this. I could maybe make a little sampler, just a little one. And then this was the one that started it all. This one was one that was designed for the Embroiderers Guild of Canada seminar that was being held in Victoria. And they wanted a freebie to go so that people who attended the seminar could have a little something, and it was like a gift. And I thought, okay, so I made this, and then I remember walking along the University of Victoria campus, and going into the place where you start eating, and there were people stitching as they were walking in, and I noticed that it was this. They were stitching it. I couldn't believe it. They were stitching my design.
Right then and there.
Right then and there, even while they had other classes going on. And I was also teaching something there. I think it was the O Canada Sampler.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this freebie, which is Friendship is a Sheltering Tree. So what's it called then? Friendship Tree?
Friendship Tree.
Friendship Tree is number 1. That's the first design I did.
Yeah.
And the next one?
The next one is called Crowning Glory. And it's a cute little egg done with a really nice soft palette of mauves and pinks. A little bit of heart hanger in there, if you
Yep.
can see it.
As usual, that's
Yeah.
really good.
Little
Now you
hem
can really see it.
stitching.
Mhm.
And
And as you can see, this was an Eastery kind
it was
of thing.
absolutely, yeah.
So I think I did it sort of in January.
In January for
most likely.
Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that one.
And that one's called Crowning Glory.
Crowning Glory, yeah. Number 2, leaflet number 2. Of course, I've already shown you White Christmas, which was number 3.
But I'm going to show you really quickly
Mhm.
once again, and just so that you can see all the specialty stitches, which will be in our stitch along as well. I will just find a way to get all these bands in there. It's going to be so exciting. I'm so excited. I want to start now.
Yeah. And the next one, because that's part of the 4 seasons, is Child of Spring.
Correct. And actually, this is has faded a little bit over
It
time, I
has,
think,
yeah.
because it was a little darker with the colors. But don't forget, you can change the colors.
Absolutely. There's not that many colors in it that you can, if you find a nice like overdyed and then match the colors to it.
Yeah, because you've got overdyed a little bit in
Yeah.
here, not everything.
Mhm.
And then this is supposed to match part of the overdye.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff in here, like the little hearts, which are the rose quartz heart, but you can have any hearts in there.
Absolutely.
So these samplers, even though they've been done some time ago and kind of pastel colors, you can brighten them up if you wish, or put them on a little darker fabric so that they show up a little bit more. I mean, there's so many things you can do with these older but still very relevant patterns.
And then the last one is also a cute little bookmark called Antique Lace.
Yes, this ended up being a bookmark because I did it in about, I think this was stitched really quickly, but I also had to get it ready for a trade show. And I'll show you what I did with this particular design.
Yeah.
And the friendship tree.
And the Crowning Glory.
And the Crowning Glory. Because this was the beginning of going to a trade show in Charlotte back in the day. And I think that was in 1995. So this is a little bit more difficult to show because it's a large piece.
And it's got glass on it.
But it was supposed to hang above my stall. And you can even see I've named the patterns. Sorry about the light shining into the glass. But I framed them that way so that people could see them. I mean, I was very proud, but I only had like, I don't know, eight designs altogether at this point when I I can't believe that there was that time. This is a little premature, but I can show you very quickly, and then I'll show this large thing again
next week.
Next week when we show
Summer Dreams and Antique or Autumn Romance.
Some of the other seasons anyway. I've got it upside down.
Oh.
Let's see if we can manage this and not show all the lighting that I've got here in the studio.
Okay.
Okay?
Ready?
Yeah. So this is how they all look together. I'll back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you okay there?
Yeah.
So you can kind of see, really nice to see all of the different colors of the wreath that's in the middle. And there's heart hanger on the bottom of every single one of these pieces. And you've only seen White Christmas so far, but you'll see some of the other ones next week. Hopefully they'll all be shown next week, and I can, because what I've decided to do with that piece is, that frame piece, is I have to take them off. I think I have to dismantle the whole frame because it is too big. Back in those days, I did very, very wide mats.
Yeah.
And I was going to a framer who was very excited about doing this framing, and she's still doing our framing. Yeah. But she was really used to making big mats to make, her paintings.
And that was the norm.
That was the norm.
That was the norm, yeah.
And ever since then, I, of course, I remember the first time I said, no, I just want a 1/4 inch on either side, top and bottom, please. And then we can have a very small mat, maybe 2 inches. And she said, what?
Yeah.
She looked horrified. And she went, it's not going to work.
And it does.
And it works fine.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. That reminds me of a lot of things. And so I thought I'd give you a little bit of history as we go along. So that's number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, after all of these things, let's see, what else is there? I have...
Oh, Donna says Child of Spring was the first VS design she stitched.
Isn't that amazing?
Mine was White Christmas.
And that, I think, might have been the very first design after that I did. And then Crowning Glory was actually later, but We published them
yeah,
differently. Mm-hmm. Dorothy says, I can't imagine designing and stitching all of those designs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I couldn't have stitched them, I couldn't have designed them.
No, that's right. Because that's how you work.
That's right. If I don't know about you, but if it was just all cross stitched, then it's a picture, and it can be a picture on your computer, and you can pretty much judge, with colors and things, what you would like to have. But if you're also doing specialty stitches and you need to be able to see the three-dimensionality of those stitches before you can move on to another part of the design, I couldn't do it without stitching. And frankly, I love stitching. So let's see. I have a white Christmas and a child of spring. Both are beautiful. Jennifer, that's so nice. And Donna, that you did that. Jeanette, thank you very much, from Bogota, Colombia. Tricia says, wow. Dory says, do you design and then stitch, or do you stitch as you design?
Stitch as you design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key, because I can make a rough sketch on my stitching program, and then I'll go way off kilter, and I'll have to make another and another and another pattern as I go to change it. And then sometimes I don't even change it in the pattern anymore. I just go in my head, basically, and do the design that way.
And then I used to get it and look at the chart going, okay, this is completely different. So
she had to rechart everything.
Rechart pretty much everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Margaret. Love the four together. Late to the party, but wanted to say hello. Thanks,
Hi,
Karen. Good to see
Happy
you.
New Year.
I wanted you to know, Karen, I'm coming to Stitcher's Hideaway in October 23rd and 24th of this year with a little October appropriate design. And so I hope that you will also tell your friends as well. Stitcher's Hideaway, run by Jen now, and of course Sue is still heavily involved. So if you're interested, might be something to put on your calendar. Okay, so thank you very much for saying hello. Carla says, I love those bands. They then make it into a year sampler. Exactly. Diane says, hi, ladies. Look at that.
Hi, Diane.
Yeah. I actually have all 4 seasons. I haven't stitched them all yet, but will be pretty in my new house. Yes, Jennifer.
Yep. And they're fun to stitch, too, because there's lots of little bands to them, specialty stitches. So they were and they're not big.
No, they're not that big. And what's really fun is when I was just starting out, Mary says, I enjoyed hearing you talk about when you first started designing. And it is really an interesting, looking back on it, even for me. I'm going, well, how did I get there? One of the things that I learned after I'd done a lot of cross stitch is I could make specialty stitches. I didn't know there was such a thing. Back in the day, I just thought cross stitches, just do those, and they're fine. They were fine. But then I discovered, I think it was through Shepherd's Bush, that there was such a thing as specialty stitches. And then I learned from, I think it was Linen and, what's it called? Linen Stitches. I think it was a small book, and it showed how to do some, maybe 2 or 3 different kinds of specialty stitches. And I went, oh, you could do anything.
A whole new world opened up.
It kind of did. Yeah. So I think that's something that's part of why I did so many specialty stitches in those
early days.
Yeah, and in those seasonal samplers, especially because I did have a unifying thing with a wreath in those seasonal ones, but I really wanted to explore all the different things you could do with specialty stitches, and that really was wonderful. Let's see. Thank you, Rachel. I'll get Crowning Glory as soon as the price is fixed. I think it is not correct. It should not be $810. Huh? No, I don't think it should be.
Yeah, no.
How did that happen?
And I don't think it's... I'll have a look. Actually, I won't have a look at it.
I'll have a look. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. I'm so glad you mentioned it, because we wouldn't have known. So I will definitely, I'll have a look as soon as I can. Yes, good, Karen. And don't forget to tell all your friends, because, hopefully you'll come from Minnesota. It would be so nice to see you there.
Karen's in Oregon.
Karen Krause is not in Oregon.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Karen Krause is in Oregon.
I guess I met you in Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, that could be.
I could be making you I'm making a mistake with the connection there, Karen. I know you really well, but I can't remember
Yeah.
that you weren't there. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Sorry about that.
no
Yeah.
problem. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Margaret Melanson says, "Oh, hello. Probably more in time to say have a nice day. As you're probably near the end. You're absolutely right. We're
Yeah.
almost done." And Karen says, "Yes, I'm in Portland."
Yeah.
Karen, I feel really dumb, but on the other hand, you know, when I think about where people are, it's possibly where I met you first.
It could be, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even that, now that I'm getting really old, I may not remember
Yeah.
very well at all. Diane Bowles, yes, $810 is a bit steep.
Yeah.
Just a touch.
Although, hey, you know, if we could sell all the designs for that price.
Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely?
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Then I'd only have to sell maybe
That's right.
4 or 5 a month.
Exactly, yes.
Anyway, so thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else except that I did want to do one auction today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you guys, but I think I'm going to do this one. This little,
Yeah.
what's it called again?
Antique lace.
Antique lace as a little belt pull. And the reason I'm doing this one is because antique lace as a little belt pull has a little belt pull hardware on it, which you can either use for this, or you can turn this into a bookmark and use this for another sampler. So that'll be kind of fun. And also, this one will go with it. So the two will go together. And so that you don't just get one.
Absolutely.
And they're very easy and quick to ship, so it shouldn't be a big issue. And we'll make sure that it's flat, kept flat, and probably in an envelope, but making sure they don't bend it.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing I had to say, because it's on my list.
It's on your list?
Auction.
You got everything on your list done?
It'll be an auction.
Good for you. Yeah.
That's great. You got the October appropriate right. I love autumn and Halloween. I know I met you somewhere where you were doing Halloween. Anyway, that'll stick with me now. I'll have to figure out where did we meet?
Why it's in your head like that.
Exactly. Have a great weekend to you too.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing our first Stitch Along Friday
of the year
of 2023.
Yeah.
And Lisa's not working at the moment, but she has some plans for the end of this year. Sometime she's going to have some time off.
Yeah.
And she's well deserved. Honestly, I don't know what I will be doing without her, but we will cross our fingers and keep going.
We'll have lunch every once a month, or
Doesn't that sound nice, everyone? Anyway,
visit frequently. And
I hope you visit frequently for everyone else here too, because they all miss you if you're not there. I know if I'm by myself, people go, "Yeah, well, where's Lisa?"
Exactly.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Yeah. Karen said Stitching Witches.
That's it.
So that was Minnesota.
It's in my head as Minnesota.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, phew! I feel so much better. Okay, have a really great weekend, and we'll talk to you all soon, and that will be next week. By next week, all the Stitch Along stuff will be all sorted. You'll have you can either sign up for the Stitch Along class and or the free Stitch Along. The free Stitch Along will not be as complicated as you can imagine. Yes. So hopefully you'll all have a wonderful weekend.
Exactly.
And you'll have a wonderful weekend.
Well, yes. I hope I don't get like my husband, because he's always going, "What day is it?" And so I hope I don't get to the point where I don't know what day it is.
And if you do, you probably will be totally relaxed.
I guess so. Exactly. Yeah.
It's not such a bad thing.
It's not such a bad thing. It just feels very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that we're all going to have this year, because it's all very odd these days anyway.
Yeah, so that it is.
It's a little unsettled.
Yeah.
Love you all. Thank you for joining.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
And Happy New Year. Exactly. Oh, I have to end the video now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Until next time I get to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.